Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Startup Soirée Podcast. This is your host, Patrick Reif. We are here recording in the early days of June. Excited to have had a bunch of really incredible soiree events over the last few weeks. Hopefully some of you picked up on that. If not, you should hit the blog and check it out because we're writing articles about the cool things we've been up to. So yes, do that stuff. That aside, I have today on the podcast as our guest, Jamie from Shine Creative. Shine Creative is a really interesting film company based in Baltimore that creates really beautiful, really cinematic, very uniquely perspective video work. But more so, what they've done that has pretty sincerely caught my attention is they've kind of developed some platforms to kind of open their brand up to perception by other people, and they're using throwing light on really great things happening in the city of Baltimore as their kind of like pitch to do that, and it's kind of created a really cool space for them. So per usual, before I bastardize it too much, Jamie, welcome to the Startup Soirée Podcast.
Thanks, Patrick. Thanks for having me.
If you don't mind, please feel free to run wild through all of that I just tried to say complimentary about your company, and give the listeners out there a little bit better idea of kind of where you come from and Shine and what Shine is kind of trying to do.
Yeah, no, thanks. That was actually an excellent overview of all the things we're doing. Mainly our business is we're a video content studio, and we make video for brands on 3 different levels. And that's mainly what our business is, our business side of it. And we're hired by agencies, by brands to create video, original content. And our big push is storytelling and working with authentic stories and people, real people. Sometimes actors. We like working with actors too. We like creating commercial stuff and working on sets and things like that. It's been a lot of fun for us. But our big strong push is definitely creating stories about real people. Creative people, especially, are what makes is our big passion, and we're really passionate about telling stories about the creative process and about the struggle and about the success. And we think that for us, a lot of what inspires us is being creative people just in their process, and also just making something out of nothing. That's always nice to watch, and then succeed. So yeah, what we're doing with Scout is it's our latest passion project. It's a creative series that is scout-project.com. And those are going to be, it's an ongoing series that we're developing stories about people right now in Baltimore who are doing things, and we've been categorizing it as artists, musicians, pioneers, and makers. And so we're going to see where that goes with that. The most kind of interesting category for me is the pioneer category. So that is, you'll see what's going to be next with that one. But that story, we're working on that one right now, and we've got a couple people in line for that, which I think is going to be inspiring for a lot of people.
That's great.
And next week we're going to be releasing a new video in Scout on Devin Allen, who is, I don't know if you are familiar, Patrick, but he just made the cover of Time magazine with a photograph.
Yeah. Devin is Devin is the guest. So we produce a podcast for Pixelated as well, and he's actually guest number 2. So he'll be publishing next Thursday, and we're gonna do actually a gallery show with him at the new Pixelated gallery. So absolutely familiar.
Awesome.
And also, I will add to that. Come on, girl! You know I watch your Insta. I got all of the shine,
right.
all your people. We're all connected. I watch all of that stuff.
Right.
You can't sneak anything by me in terms of that. I'm stoked. I think that
we always get big hearts from you. Thank you, Patrick.
Oh man, I was so proud of. Creative Mornings has ended up being this secret alumni that I'm like, every time I go there, I have this all shucks moment because I belong to it, but I feel like by accident because everyone that's on that platform are so interesting and it's so strong, and I have massive love for Katie Boytz, that lady is very inspiring to me. I love what I didn't know her before it, but I have a feeling that it has really impacted her point of view. She seems to really thrive in that position. I think that probably a lot of what she was doing on that stage had a lot of the reason to do with where she's moved her current business to right now. I think that you know as well as I do that she's a real natural at storytelling and making people feel comfortable. So I just loved so much the way that the topic pivoted, so that way May was exactly about what it needed to be about. And the week of all of the protests and that stuff that was happening, and then the week that followed, we had a startup soiree, and everyone was canceling every single event in Baltimore. And our point of view was just like, no fucking way are we canceling anything. We soldier on. Like the thing is, you don't cancel. Like the thing is, we stay the course because it's much bigger than canceling. And I felt like the mental up top at Creative Mornings got that also. Like they could understand how important it was to continue to lead in that moment and not to capitulate to the desires of hysteria, but to kind of use it as an opportunity to teach. I'm not going to cancel my thing, and if anything, I'm gonna repivot it, and I'm gonna change the conversation to more directly focus on this. So that was a really beautiful morning for sure. I'm super glad that I was there.
Yeah, and for those out there who haven't seen it, you can go on creativemornings.com/ I think it's BAL, but you can look in Baltimore's feed and you can watch that particular morning. On the video of it will be on that website.
So,
but what I actually, and that brings me to just Baltimore itself and our love for the city. Shine has been, Drew and I, Drury Bynum, who's my husband as well as my business partner. He and I have been in Baltimore for a really long time. I don't want to say exactly because it'll age me for sure, but we've been here for so long, and we feel a really strong love for the city, of course, because it's our home, and it's not New York, it's not LA, it's its own animal, and being here, I think, has really kind of inspired our work as well, and we definitely know that being in the city has made us tougher and has made us. We've seen a lot and kind of gone through a lot, and pushed through and stayed, despite a lot of things, a lot of reasons to leave, but so many reasons to stay. And mainly it's been because of the people and our sudden a burst of collaborative energy that's happened in the last 5 years for us. And I know that this has really been going on for a long time, but I think being both of us being products of the 80s and 90s, collaboration is not first nature for us. So, it's always been kind of you're on your own and, you figure it out. And so I guess that's also another thing is like working. We work with a lot of younger people of different generations, different ages, older and younger. So it's kind of given us a lot of different perspectives on how to work and how work has changed, and then it's also making our work better.
Right. Sure. So if I can narrow in on something that I think that you guys do really well, and I think that it's something that we kind of have a bit in common, which is that whether you realize it or not, and I'm sure that you realize it, but with these, with Scout and kind of with your work with Creative Mornings, what you're in effect doing is you're playing that big kind of inbound pay it forward model for your marketing model, which is that, we're going to create incredible content that people are going to want to consume. And we're going to be a very integral part of this platform that happens in our city that produces these ideas that align with open-mindedness and innovation, but also with like being creative and being positive and fostering kind of growth in like a positive direction. So I'm just curious in terms of where is that idea? Where is that that emphasis on kind of the inbound version of, instead of going out and spending money with Baltimore Magazine or with a publication to get an ad there. Instead, you guys are producing Scout and you're getting at people in that way. What is the where's the philosophy sit with Shine?
Yeah, I mean, we certainly didn't invent this model of I guess promotion. A lot of photographers have been doing it for a long time. They develop a project and and they put their brand on it, their spin on it, and it's just saying like, this is our voice, this is our perspective on storytelling, and we we've kind of been honing in on this because we did a series before called Bright, and that was like our first stab at this in-house series model of this model, but we wanted to go a step further and kind of refine it a little bit and give it a new name and really kind of get really focused on the story we wanted to tell. And in turn, we also, wanted this to be our promotional piece that said, this is what we can do, because a lot of times, we'll get hired to do something and it'll be someone else's idea, and they'll say, can you shoot this? We like what you do, but can you shoot this? And then we'll do it the way we want to do it. And then they'll be like, no, we want to do it. We'd rather do it this way. And then it suddenly becomes not our thing. And so we've realized, like, if we want to show the world our best work, then we're going to have to just do our best work on our own, So.
And figure out a way to get it out there. Well, you're doing an awesome job. Scout is like it's such a cool series. What I loved about it is, we've been about creating all of these communities and like hopefully doing really cool stuff and not like asking a lot for it, just trying to do it out of goodwill and just our ask is that people participate in it. It's not much greater than that. And like when we took Pixelated, and you've been here, so you've seen what the space is like. I'm always thinking about there's definitely a version of something that I want to do that invites really, I'm a big I spent my whole life making music and making art, so I'm a pretty serious musician and music consumer, and I really have a version of something that's going to happen that's going to engage kind of like touring acts that I really love, that can come and do like daytime like live broadcast segments, the way that a lot of other blogs have kind of done that thing where they're crafting this narrative around just things that they like, that the people that also like their company likes, and kind of bringing them in and hosting them to do like interesting one-off stuff. That that high five economy. Yeah,
no, that's just the way you have to do it now. I think the, access to creating whatever we want visually and audioly. We can be our own media. We can create our own media, and then, so that's real power there. I mean, we have the ability to, like Devin, he has 50,000 followers on Instagram, Devin Allen. He's just this kid from Baltimore. He's an amazing photographer, and he, just looks like this, stroke of, I don't know what. He just was able to, harness the power of Instagram, and suddenly he's got all these followers. And that's a major following. That's not just a little thing. And having a following like that is powerful now, is what is power now. And suddenly all of that is turning. And, we all together can, work together and collaborate together to tell the stories that we want. And, you have obviously been doing that as well. And, as a musician, you understand, people want to hear what people want to hear and what people want to see. And, so, you're able to design that very thing. And, I think that's incredible. That's incredible,
So help me understand a little bit about the what's the trajectory of Shine been like? What's its age, and how did it start? And what was the principal kind of idea?
So back in 2007, I actually left. I used to work for a city paper. I'm sure you're familiar with city paper. I worked there for almost 15 years in advertising, and I decided it was like a time where I was like, all right, I'm going to be 40 soon, and I'm going to print is kind of going away. It wasn't quite gone yet, but I was like, print's not going to be around forever. I've got to figure something else out. I want to work for myself. I had an entrepreneurial bug. And Drew also, same with him. He had, he'd been teaching, and he also worked for a major corporation in their video department, but he'd also been kind of messing around with the internet, with web design and things like that. And so he kind of went on he was on his trajectory in terms of his career, and then I was on mine, and I decided I'm going to ditch my, my nice salary and my cushy job, and I'm going to join my friend Melissa Kirby at Shine Collective, which was a store, which is a boutique in Camden. And soon after, investing and rebranding and changing the store and redesigning and building a website and all that stuff, the recession happened. So we were doing all right, and then we weren't. Shine was it was really, really tough. It was really tough being an independent boutique in Baltimore, especially, and then during the recession. And so we gave it a good go for about 3 years. And in the third year, we decided to move from Hamden to Woodbury, to Clipper Mill, which is where we are still today. And we thought, all right, well, we'll go to the, we really wanted to get it out of the brick and mortar and kind of work on the web store and maybe have an atelier and all that. And so that kind of worked out for a little bit. And then, and at the same time, Drew was working on his video business. He is actually a painter who decided to go into video, and then, like I said, he was a teacher, and then he did a couple of other things. And then he decided video was, there was a lot of promise in video, and he had done a lot of research and and development in terms of like finding out that like with a DSLR camera you can shoot beautiful video, and then he found out that a lot of small businesses actually needed video, and so he kind of brought those two things together. And this is really before video was even a big thing in business. So he was kind of on the front end of that, and so simultaneously we were tanking, and he was like, come back to sales and marketing, come join me and help me build this business. Let's make Shine into something else. And so Melissa and I just did that. We actually said, all right, we're going to close the store. So in July 2010, we closed the store. And then during that summer, we just pivoted and rebranded and changed the name to ShineCreative.tv. And we got our first clients, which were Latico Leathers, Under Armour, and Sedago Shoes. They're all fashion clients. So it made a lot of sense when we were a fashion company saying, hey, we're doing video now. And then that's how the transition happened.
Awesome. That's a good story.
So then my husband became my boss, essentially. But yeah, no, it's been fun.
One of you was very smart in that deal. I'm not sure. I'm not going to take sides though.
That's great. Actually, it's perfect because now we do a lot of traveling for work, and we get to go to all these fun places together. And
your life doesn't look like it sucks.
It's been great.
It doesn't look like it sucks at all. Well, this has been great. We're kind of, I easily have 37 more questions written down, and I think that like what we'll do is definitely we'll do it again. I know that I've been talking to Katie about coming on as a guest on our other podcast and showing that side of Shine and what she's going to do there. So that'll be great. But Jury is also one of my like favorite points of view on Instagram. His he's definitely got a style and a taste, and he elevates what he's trying to capture in a unique way, like almost every single time. He's got a very unique point of view, and I love watching it. So it'll be fun to tear into his brain at some point and ask him a little bit about his artistic point of view for the vision in that terms. But before I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, he's a little more focused, so I think he might give you a better idea. But yeah,
this one's going to go down one's going to go down in the record books. People are going to love this one. I know it. I already know it. It's the ones that we have like the most fun on that go down well. So, and I've asked almost none of my regular questions. So, you win.
Okay.
So before we wrap up, do me a favor and just let everyone out there know the best place to catch up with you.
On ShineCreative.tv is our website, and our Instagram handle is ShineCreativeTV, as well as our Twitter handle. Instagram's probably our best little negative info on the daily. So
that's your sweet spot.
Yeah, and Facebook as well, ShineCreativeTV.
Awesome. Okay, well, you heard it, guys. That is the first part of the Shine Creative story. I implore all of you to go follow the links in the podcast notes and check out Shine. Check out the Scout series. Our friends from Treason have an incredible, inspiring video that they did months and months ago, but more recently, they've been focusing on Jana from Lower Dens, another really excellent piece of Baltimore art culture, all the way around the bend, a fascinating person. Jamie said interesting stuff coming from Devin. Hopefully all of you know his name. If not, go pick up a Time magazine and read it, and think about that in context of what you're thinking about Baltimore and this awesomeness. I hope you're reading the blogs. I hope you're having a good time. If you haven't yet, head over to iTunes, leave us a review. But until next time, stay cool. Peace.